Welcome to the 2026 Meg Endless Reality QNA. I'm your amazing host, Artemis, and if you don't know what this is, I don't blame you. This is the first time I'm doing a Q&A like this. Anyway, about a week ago, I gave my Discord server a week to ask anything they wanted about MER, and now we are here. Now, I won't be able to answer every question because there are just about 200 of them. But I will try my gosh darn best to answer all of them. So I am literally going to go down the list and answer every not stupid question that I can. And with all that said, let's just get into it. Why are the snack rooms not connected? They actually are. So if you don't know, this has been a question that's been asked ever since the snack rooms came out. Just via context clues, I kind of assumed people would figure this out, but in both variations of snack rooms, there's a brown wooden door. It's inferred that that leads to the other section of the level. So, what's your favorite Backrooms entity? I'm assuming this question is referring to wiki entities, so I'm gonna go off like the wiki.dot interpretation of entities. And with that, I'd say the skin stealer, just because of, how it kills its victims and then how it actually does the mimicry and skin stealing. I'm not going to describe it here, just, go read the article, but it's pretty cool. When will y'all update the milestones? So this question could go either two ways. So either one, if you're asking when will we be getting future milestones, like milestone skids for level 500 and Pat and more. The reason why there aren't in game yet is because there's about like 10 people who actually get even past level 300. So to just spend my time when I could be making a new level to be like, oh, level 500 suit, level 600 suit. It's kind of just like, oh, 2 people are going to get that. Why would I work so hard on it? But, I'm still going to add it eventually. And if this is referring to a suggestion that's in the server to revamp the milestone suits, I've been changing my mind on how to handle skins in game. I want to do less IP slop, as I kind of think of it in my head, and do more kind of realistic suits. And a lot of suggestions for revamping the milestone suits involve adding crystals and all this stuff to them because it's the diamond suit. But I think it's a little too overdone. I think if I leaned in that direction, I could get it done right. But yeah, will level 666 Hallway to Hell be added? So, the issue with level 666, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not doing research before answering these questions. I think how the level works is that it goes off based of your greatest fear. Please, editor Pugimus, put like a giant like red X on screen and like a buzzer if I'm wrong. But even besides that, it'd be really kind of hard to do to make like a level like that, and also because the entire Backrooms is kind of liminal horror, it'd be kind of weird to just add just straight up horror. Will you add more rooms to the jazz snack rooms? Why aren't there like 2? So level 6.1 is a food court, and the reason why I didn't want to just straight up do a food court is because the mall level already has a food court on its second floor, so I didn't just want to have bigger food court, That's why there's a miniature food court on the second variant, but it's kind of like cut off via gate. So there's more, but you don't see it, quotation marks. And the reason why the jazz snack rooms doesn't have any more rooms is because it's like a restaurant. That's the restaurant. It's in the court, the food court, and it's just a little restaurant. I could always add more rooms to it. I could add a variation of the jazz rooms. Why did I just call it the jazz rooms? What are your top 3 Roblox Backrooms games? They're gonna hate my opinion. They're gonna come and find my address. If I disappear, you know what happened. So, number 1, I'd definitely say TBI. It is single player, but it is still an awesome experience. It's got a really good story, and it's just literally the best Backrooms game on Roblox. Story-wise, game-wise. Number 2, I'm not that guy, but I'm literally going to say Meg. I'm viewing at this question as what Backrooms games do I play the most? What would I genuinely play if I had to pay money for it? And if I didn't make Meg, I'd still be a fan of Meg. I just like my own game. I find myself playing my own game. If you don't like this, then replace it with Elsewhere when it comes out. And at number 3, I'm going to say the True Backrooms. Now, this is kind of a nicher game because, you know, the larger Roblox Backrooms community is just kind of like,
oh, King Pixels, Captain Cork!
True Backrooms came out before Kane even made his first found footage. It's pre-Backrooms hype. It's a great game. Very original. Go play it. Check it out. What's your favorite level you've made in MER? My mind goes to level 4, but if I'm being completely honest, I like every level. Of course, some more than others, but if I were to give an answer, it'd be the original 9, just level 0 through level 8. Actually, let's count level 9 in that as well. I just like all those levels a lot. I think I did a great job on them. Will you ever add level 404? I think I looked at this level page when I saw this question, but I'm not really super into the simulation idea of the Backrooms. And also, level 404 should just be like a really crazy level to make in Meg. I just don't think it fit. But, you know, maybe. Will there be a matchmaking option in the future? Definitely, when I figure out how to code it. Definitely. Will there be a sandbox mode? If this is referring to being able to pick what level you want to load in and just wander around and set how many rooms you want in it, then probably in the future, whenever I make private server admin commands for private server owners, then yeah, this would be happening. If you could change one thing about the game, what would it be? Definitely the entity AI. It's but. Okay, it's not but it's not the best. It could be better, so yeah, that's what I changed. Do you have any plans on revamping the game at all? If we're talking a full recode, there wouldn't be an update for 2 years. I'm not even gonna lie. That would take forever. And also, I'd rather just make the game better as updates go on, instead of just saying, hey guys, we're not gonna update for 2 years because, you know, I don't like the code. Will you ever do another collab with a different Backrooms themed game? The issue with that is that a lot of Backrooms games today don't have a lot of original content. The majority of them just go, oh, we're gonna just recreate Kane Pixels and that's about it. So you do something like that and it just turns out, oh, you want a collab? Oh, sure, what are you gonna do? Oh, you give me your wallpaper and I give you mine. And there's just nothing really collab worthy. So it'd be a Backrooms game with more unique aspects, like how I collab with TBI. What is your concept of the Backrooms? I have to like watch what I say because this is like a really lore heavy question. So basically, the Backrooms in Meg isn't 100% wiki, like that's pretty obvious, and it takes pretty much 1 or 2 things from Kane's. Pretty much, Meg's universe is what if the whole Meg was formed and all these groups were formed like 30 years before they were in the wiki. So a lot more has happened. You're in a more established Backrooms. That's why the Meg, it doesn't look like a camp and it has like an actual base. So I could really go a lot deeper with this question, but I'd rather have people just theorize. But I will say, Meg's Backrooms is not like Kane's where it's remembering things that it's forgetting and it sucks at remembering. It's more of the original concept of the Backrooms. Will we ever get a free roam game mode, or will the game just only focus on Meg missions? So I it's called Meg Endless Reality. When is it not just gonna be, when will it become you're wandering on the Backrooms as your own guy? But a free roam mode, again, private server stuff, that'd be cool. Is it possible for the Fun War and the Void Badge to return? Okay, so this has been asked so much. The Fun War and Void Badge are never coming back. The Fun War was an event, you just had to be there. It's like a lore event. I can't just like rewind time and just go, oh my gosh, it's happening again! Whoa! Whoa! And the Void Badge is from a generation bug that has now been fixed. So it's impossible to get unless you use exploits, which does happen. And also just adding these badges back just gets rid of how rare they are Like, people obviously want them back because they're rare, but what people don't realize is if I add it back, then it's not rare, so you don't have a rare badge anymore. Is there a chance to add level 974 or level 906? I don't know what level 906 is, but I've confirmed 974 as coming soon, eventually. Will you add level 9223 7203 685 4775 807? Eventually. What entity was the most fun to program? Bone Thieves were fun. Arena Memory was also fun. Any entity that has some like really unique mechanic to it, that if it's an entity that doesn't just walk around, then it was fun to make. What is the hardest level in your opinion, and why? I still see people struggle on level run. I don't know how. Will there be any new items in the future? Yes there will. The reason why there hasn't been any recently, it's because you kind of have to space this stuff out so you don't just, add every item you ever want to, and then you just have nothing else to add. Are there any future planned levels or levels that are being made at the moment for MER? There's always a level being made, and also I have a Trello, which if I just find a cool level, I just put its level number there, so eventually I get to it. So there's like 20 levels that are set to come eventually, but there could always be more. If it's a cool level and I think I could do something cool with it. Why did you not use the wiki version of level 29? So basically level 29 on the wiki dot is a freaking mountain. This is one of my biggest issues with the wikis, and it's just that it's liminal horror and then they add a mountain. What is liminal about a mountain? It's a mountain. Why would I add a mountain? I think it's dumb, so I just found a different level that kind of got archived, and yeah, that's the Abyssin. What are some big future plans for the game? For example, a UI rehaul or update of similar scope. So, I'm not going to revamp the UI. People say the UI is bad, but that's kind of on purpose. It's very crude. It's not meant to look pretty because it's the Meg. They're using these softwares for purpose, not for, casual enjoyment. And then there is an update. There is an update that won't be some big overhaul of how you play the game, but it will definitely kind of change gameplay when you get there. That's all I'm gonna say. Will you add more groups of interest into the normal gameplay besides the BNTG? If so, how will you, or how do you want to include these groups of interest into the game? So, I get asked a lot, when will we encounter the UEC? And you won't. You really won't. The UEC is a dangerous group, and also if you just read the wiki page, not the wiki page, wow, I'm stupid, the index page, just written there in the sentence is that they're not as strong as they were before. They're not as present, which is a lore detail, but they're just not as present as they were. So why would you and Compass Point just end up running into them? Or why would Meg just tell you at Compass Point, who don't have weapons, to, do a mission where you beef with the crazy warmongerers? It doesn't really make any sense. And I had an idea where you go on a mission to actually go to the BNTG base in level 1, but that really didn't make any sense because Meg is really big. So again, why would they send Compass Point to go barter and trade when they have officials to do that? You get what I'm saying? It's kind of lore related. You're not the main character. How would negative levels approximately look and work when they're added? So, I can't say how they look. But they definitely won't just be in the computer. You can't just keep rolling the dice until you get one. It's whoa, -1, that's weird. You'd have to do something to unlock them in the computer. Will you add more entities in the future? Yes. Are you planning to add any big new features that could change gameplay as a whole? For example, a sanity bar. I know you won't add this one, but it's just an example. Not at the moment. Unless it's an objective that is really different compared to the others, then there's not really anything planned at the moment. why isn't this level 58? So, level 231 is a free write wiki level. The free writing wiki is god awful. I think Cat in the Hat has more depth, which it actually does. That's Cat in the Hat definitely has more depth than any free writing level. It's just toddlers putting their fanfics on the internet. So, why would I use that? And then also, 231 is a really high level number, just replacing 58, which is a pretty bad level, with anomaly stairs, just works a lot better. Will you add more secret badges / endings? Example, the office ending. There will be more endings. This is not the last one. And of course there's going to be more secret badges. Why would there not? Will hard mode be added to the game? I'm just kind of thinking of how it would be done. I definitely had to add a UI when you enter a lobby spot so you can enable it. And I also don't know if I'd hide it or lock it away behind reaching a certain level. Like you have to be level 25 to get it. What has been your favorite level to make? They're always so unique to make, so I can't really say one. But revamping the pool rooms lighting recently was really fun to make. Will you ever add friendly facelings or entities that you can tame? Not really, no. It'd kind of take away from the horror if you run into a bulb cat and you're like, whoa, let's make this my pet. It'd be weird. I don't think it's a good idea. Will you ever add the golf cart admin command into the real game? Maybe as an April Fool's exclusive? That's just a dumb thing I made so I could have in my personal admin panel. So no, it won't. What levels would you like to add into the game in the future? My thought process for adding levels into the game is there's so many Backrooms levels out there that I'm gonna add as many good ones or make as many good ones as I can until I run out. So if there's a level that's really good, it's liminal, I will probably try to do it. Will more levels have a way to travel through levels without using the elevator or having an ending? So it's like a mechanic for the hub, if that's what you're kind of referencing. That's the hub's mechanic. It's cool. And also, I don't really like the idea of just going via, like, you're in level 0 and then you find the exit to level 1. That doesn't really make sense for the game. You're kind of like abandoning your post in that. And endings that will come from going to levels, yeah, there probably will be one in the future. Will we ever get more enigmatic chase levels? Yes. Also unrelated, can I have your signature? What are the most exciting or interesting levels coming to the game? There's a lot. I can't really say. There's so many questions like this, but I just said that one just to rage bait you guys. Do you plan to continue updating the game for the foreseeable future, or are you planning any new projects at all? I don't have any new projects planned, and again, my thought process for adding levels, I'm going to add as many as I can until I run out of good ones. So I'm going to update the game for as long as I can. I know what the final update will be, but besides that, it will be going on to the foreseeable future. How many more entities are planned on being added in the future, and will there be more levels dedicated to one entity / entities? So there will be new entities in the future, and there eventually will be levels that will have entities exclusive to their level. Will you ever add more unique entities that don't chase? Memory worm, the phone, etc. Yes, I hope so. At least I will try. Hold me accountable on that in 20 years.
When will you give me the Meet the Owner badge?
2050. Will you change back the texture of the items in your inventory? Why would I do that? Those vendors were so bad. Do you have plans to add more original entities? Yes, there is one. Would you add bouncy castles to level Fun Plus? They'd be so big, and it just kind of feel out of place with the current design of level Fun Plus. Will you add the king to level 94? The level could have a custom task for defeating him. No, it would change how gameplay is kind of played in the level a bit too much. And also, I'd feel like I'd eventually have to pull and escape the backrooms and make it a boss fight, which I don't want to do. And also, if I were to do something like that, it would just be the Game Master. I wouldn't do the king. Will you add back the Burger King crown or something like it? It got replaced with the employed hat, so for free if you bought it. It's just not coming back. What inspiration did you take from other types of media when making the game we all love and enjoy? So it was mainly the Backrooms Wikidot and kind of the lore that's already there with the groups. Just kind of very cleaned up. If you don't know, the Wikidot has just like a lot of random garbage. The fandom also has a lot of random garbage on it. There's like a hint of cane pixels. It's literally just the reference to async and the index and the bacteria. And there's the tape from the movie, but that's literally it. And then, of course, Lethal Company is a big inspiration for just the main gameplay of the game. Will you add a stats menu for Meg? So, I have seen the suggestions for a stats menu. The issue is that Meg kind of has data loss for some people. Rarely now, thank God. And adding a stats menu would be absolute data store hell. For me. Other games have pulled it off like Grace, but yeah, no, that would be hell for me. It's just not something I want to make. Will you make it so you can use traps and ping droppers and level you cheated again? The main reason I did it is so that people could actually experience level you cheated, you know, and also that people couldn't make trap towers and just fill the room with pings. So it was just mainly a way to make the level feel more like you cheated. Are you going to add death animations that other people can see? I would do it if I could code it. That is like just really hard to code. Like even games like Unseen that do it, it's very choppy when you actually see it, so I wouldn't risk it. Are you going to add more rare entities? Yes. Yes. Will there ever be lore in the game, like story in the levels? The lore of Meg isn't very, you're the main character. The lore of Meg is, you're existing, you're living in this world, and you're pretty much just like a civilian. You're not the main character. The story doesn't revolve around you. It's very much like the phone call when you join Compass Point. This is your new life. This is just your life. You will never be the main character of Meg, and I really want players to feel that with just kind of the obvious lack of a big story, you know? You're just a guy in the back rooms doing your job. Will you ever bring back the old standards? Why did you remove them? And will you ever add more rare things that do not have achievements for them? If it's a rare thing, they're definitely gonna have an achievement. And I already did explain why I got rid of the old standards. And will I add them back? No. There is no funeral. They are dead in the ground.
Will there be any level, like, inspired by Courage the Cowardly Dog show?
No? Why? My apologies if someone asked this already. I honestly wonder. Are you perhaps planning to add any lore to the characters? Or maybe even levels and such? Especially since there are some custom entities there, and the game doesn't follow any of the wikis to a T. I'm actually interested in knowing more about them, so I'm curious about your thoughts about it. I kind of already answered this in 2 questions back, but just to go a little bit deeper with the characters part, there are characters that lead a bigger role in the game, which haven't been introduced at all. They're just kind of in my head right now and just on a Trello page, but eventually they will get mentioned and you will have to put the puzzle pieces together of what their purpose is. And when it comes to lore for levels, there kind of already is with 0.2, 0.3, and also other levels that have affiliation with groups. So, yeah. Again, I'll just reiterate the whole thing. The story of Meg is that you just kind of live in this world, and you're just living in it. There's higher-ups doing something. There's always a bigger plot going on. There is historical events. I like to kind of correlate Meg's lore with kind of the Cold War historically. There's this big tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, right? But let's just say you're Joe Schmo working in North Carolina. Why? The story's not revolved around you, but there are these like technically bigger characters in it, presidents and leaders, but you're not the main character. The Meg is kind of like that, where there is kind of stuff happening, but you're just a civilian that has pretty much zero influence in what actually happens. Do you plan on adding more long-term rewards outside of leveling up, like meg-based customization, rebirths, etc.? Rebirths would be interesting. I actually haven't thought about that. But meg-based customization was kind of an idea at one point. Also was elevator customizations, like having custom elevators that you could buy and it'd be on the client, so it'd only affect you. But maybe. I'm kind of more iffy on meg-based customization, but more long-term rewards? Definitely. Will there be any classes, perks, or other customizable features players can select from to fit their gameplay style in the near future, excluding items? I don't think classes or perks really fit meg. Like, it'd be weird if you're playing with a group and an entity shows up and your friend's like, "Don't worry guys, I have the fighter type." It doesn't really make sense, and I don't think it works. If you do add more rank rewards, what is the absolute cap for the highest level that you'd put them at? Initially, it was going to be level 1000, but now looking at people getting over level 1000, might have to come up with something new. Battle Pass? Maybe? Fortnite and Meg? I don't know. Which Backrooms levels do you consider to be pure nightmare fuel? Or alternatively, which scare you the most and why? Dude, they all are horrifying. I'm gonna be honest. You play a game with level 0 in the Backrooms, it's not that scary. But just the concept, you're living your life, you fall through the floor, and you're in level 0, you could be like me, or you could be Brugly of the Backrooms, right? You could know everything. That is still a horrifying experience. And if you survive level 0, it just gets worse and worse from there. The Backrooms in general is horrifying. Every single level is horrifying. If you think you're gonna no-clip in there and be like, "Oh, yeah, I got this," you're wrong. You're lying. When will all 999 levels be added in the game? Never. Oh god, no, never. Do I look like redacted? Will negative levels have their own unique thing, or would they just be like normal levels that can appear in rotation? Kind of already answered this, but I want to lean more into the unique thing. I do want to give them their own unique kind of properties, so they really do feel like negative levels. Unsure if this was asked, but are there any plans to have multiple tasks in a singular level? No, and I've seen the suggestions for it, and I don't really like the idea, because levels are kind of small. Levels used to be way bigger in the past. They used to generate way more rooms, but of course they've been shrunken down a lot for replayability purposes and all that. So, 1, levels would have to be a lot bigger, and then 2, it would just be confusing to have 2 different objectives, and let's say you run into a miscellaneous item, and then you run into a no-clip zone, and then it's like this weird back and forth. It would just feel like you're doing one bigger objective, but you have to do 2 different things. It'd be confusing for people. Will you add more objectives related to other groups like the UEC? No, I kind of already answered this, but why would the Meg send you to go do something with warmongers and, crazy people? Are you fond of Kane Pixel's backroom story and direction, or do you have a critical view on it? I think it's good, but I think it really gets ruined by the community, and also just some aspects of it. Like, if you don't know, the Kane Pixels community, a lot of them think the Wikidot is complete slop, but it's really not, and it's kind of hypocritical, because Kane Pixels fans will swear that face things are the stupidest thing known to man, but they will think still lifes are the scariest thing ever, when they're pretty much the exact same thing, except one of them is disformed and the other one just has no face. And my other point is that it's kind of losing itself a bit. The movie is completely liminal. There's just one scene I don't like where there's just a pile of rubble in level 0. I think that's really stupid. But again, there's fans that will say, "No, dude, it's so liminal," when it's just a pile of rocks. And then also, there's this weird trend going on where people trying to recreate Kane Pixel style just think, "Oh, I'll put a chair in the wall, and there's going to be chair in the floor, and I'll just put random things all over the place because that's liminal." And it's kind of not. If you go back to what liminal really originally meant when the Backrooms wikis first started, it's a transitional space. It's to make you feel uncomfortable, but if you purposely make the geometry look super confusing and weird, then no crap you're gonna feel uncomfortable. So I don't have issues with Kane's story, I just kind of have more issues with how people interpret it. Do you or did you have plans to broaden the game's scope in the separate game modes? At one point, but that was a really long time ago, and it was really dumb, so currently, besides a hard mode, no, not really. You spawn into an MER round, and you can only bring 3 items with you. Which and why? I'm bringing an entity tracker, so I know what the heck is around me, a crowbar to hide, and an elevator compass because I have a bad feeling I'd get lost. Some people may argue that this game is splitting away from its liminal horror source material by adding open world nature levels full of life and vegetation. In a hypothetical argument against one of these people claiming such, how would you correspond? I wouldn't argue against them, I would agree. I definitely don't like doing so many outdoor levels. That's why there's like a very small amount of them. It's a big issue I have with the Wikidot and the wikis in general, where it's just a forest. Oh, it's liminal because if you touch a purple blade of grass, you explode. And it's like, that's just so dumb. This is the kind of stuff that I like to clean up with Meg's lore, where it's a more refined and cleaned up version of the Wikidot, so we don't have stupid stuff like that. Are you going to add level 3999, the Neon Paradise? Eventually? Rare encounters for when? I have an entity that's planned to be a rare encounter for. I just need to think of how I'm going to do it, but it's coming. Would you add an entity tracker but for players, showing the layout of the map and where players are? Levels are already kind of small. If levels were like 30 rooms, then maybe. And you'd also have like a 15-minute timer then. But for players and to map out the level, it'd make the game way too easy. If I did add it, it'd be like $1 million. Are you going to add level 30 aquatic cycles or shifted beyond reality? Level 30 in Meg is shifted beyond reality. That's a lore point that I just haven't put in game, but it's not in Meg because that level's a death trap. You will die, so there's no point in sending people there. And aquatic cycles is probably just going to be a water park level, and it won't be level 30 to keep level 30 shifted beyond reality. When is the Hound revamp? I'm not adding it currently. It's been canceled. The backlash was just so big. There's no reason to like split the community on a Hound model. What level/entity are you most proud of, or what was the most difficult to create? Kind of already answered this, but not the entity part. I'd say I'm proud of the Skin Stealers. I remember when I first made the Skin Stealers, it was back when the game was under 308, and Evan was kind of talking to me, and he's like, dude, this is great. And I was like, thanks. And he said, the Apuro devs claimed that it'd be impossible to make a Skin Stealer like this, but you somehow did it with 0 coding experience, which at the time I didn't have any coding experience. And I was just kind of like, wow, that's funny. This is the old Apuro devs though. This is not the Elsewhere dev. What's your favorite block on Minecraft? Tough. Because it's just so tough. See what I did there? If you could collab with any non-Backrooms game, what game would you pick? Roblox? Question mark? On Roblox? Fortnite? No, I'm kidding. That'd actually be so awesome. I'm kidding. God. If we're talking Roblox, I really wanted to collab with Grace before everything that happened. Besides that, I think Doors or Pressure would be really cool. And if there's any other like really big dev watching this, call me. What is your least favorite entity? And what's your least favorite level? My least favorite level, I like level 17, but it's just not a level I'd go to. And my least favorite entity is... Wow, this is kind of a hard one to do, honestly. I don't really think I have a least favorite entity. Maybe the Death Moths. Yeah, Death Moths. What's your favorite level OST? There's a level OST that you guys have heard for a very long time, actually, but it isn't in game, and that's my favorite level OST. So, are you going to add Hotel Chase? Also, peak idea. You should add a mini hoop in the Meg base that you can dunk on. Mini hoop? No. Actually, no, maybe. And Hotel Chase? Maybe. Why did you reject the perfect brilliant idea of colored light bulbs in the fix the elevator light task? Because you might not get that task ever again in a playthrough. So you might be stuck with a pink light. And then also, it would just look goofy. It would just look goofy. Can you please add the virus to the entity tracker? It's kind of a little Easter egg and also mechanic for the virus. It's a virus. So of course it hacked the Meg database and removed all information about it off of the index. And then for the entity tracker, it pretty much just hacks it and hides itself because it is a virus. Why would it not affect electronic things? Do you ever plan on revamping realism in regards to entity appearance and levels? Entities I would gladly do once Cody locks in. Cody? No, I'm just messing with him. And when it comes to levels, no, that's kind of the game's art style. Of course, I'm going to add more detail when I can, when I look back and go, I could add this. But I'm not just going to turn the game into what I've seen as a stereotype on Roblox, which is Backrooms game good because it's hyper-realistic. I don't really want to lean into that trend. Are you going to add a system where you can see entity habitat in the index? For example, when an entity file says majority of levels, or something like that to increase world building. I definitely would if you couldn't get a face thing on every single level. Like, if face things could only appear on certain levels, then yes, I would. Arachnophobia mode? I don't know if you're asking for spiders to be in the game, or for a mode where you turn off the spiders. Like, are you afraid of the Remembry? Also, it's a horror game. Boreas Structure asks, will Boreas Structure ever get changes? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I'm not happy with it in like 20 minutes or something. Will you add any achievements for beating a map with specific restrictions, like no sprinting, jumping, or using an item? I actually haven't thought about that. That's a good idea. Thank you. Do you feel proud? Like, do you ever join the lobby and look around and smile and think, I did this? And you really just enjoy it all? Yeah, I do actually. I am very proud of Meg. I'm very proud of the game being like this. It's weird to think that during exploration, I thought I'm gonna make the most popular Backrooms game ever. And then during summer, during June when the Backrooms movie was out, like, Meg was literally like the most popular Backrooms game, player-wise. If you looked at player count, more people were playing Meg than any Backrooms game on Roblox and on Steam, which is absurd. That's an achievement I will hold for the rest of my life, even if it's not true in 20 years. I will hold on to it for then. Will you ever do double XP weekends or make double XP into a game pass? And if you do both, could you stack the game pass alongside double XP weekends? Game pass? No, I'm not pay to win like that. And I have done double XP weekends in the past, but they're usually for updates, so maybe in the future I'll do another one. Why did you choose Lethal Company for the inspiration? I didn't. I actually remember the day this happened. I was still a dev at 308, and Evan pings the dev team and says, what if we created a game that was Backrooms plus Lethal Company? And I immediately replied and said, that's a great idea. So then Meg was born, and after working on it for a little bit, it eventually became mine. So, do you ever miss the old Meg? No, not really. Looking back, that thing was so buggy. Meg or pure phobia? Meg. Will you ever add backsliding? Nah, it was too buggy, and that type of crazy movement I don't think would fit the game. Will you ever add JJBA skin? No, again, I'm just kind of straying away from the IP kind of stuff. I really realized this when I tried making a Goku skin, and I kind of realized, wow, this looks really stupid. What am I doing? So I'm gonna really not do IP stuff anymore, unless it's an IP that kind of fits Meg, like Half-Life or a Lethal Company skin. What's my favorite food? Pizza. Are you not allowing levels too high of numbers? Because the highest is level 347, and there's only about 6 above 100. I would prefer to fill in the level numbers under 100 before just adding levels above 100. And also, level 347 is level 347 because I keyboard mashed when naming it. Do you think about making a level telling the player some lore about Meg? No, not really. I don't want to make a level that's kind of like, yo, dude, here's the lore. It'd be just really force-fed, and kind of out of nowhere for how the game has handled its lore for so long. If you made the game now, is there anything you would have done differently? I think if I made the game now, because I've become such a better dev while working on this game, that I would have been like a chud, and while making this game during the Backrooms movie hype, I definitely would have been like, oh, we're gonna add Captain Clark and the still lifes and the cane pixels. I definitely would have just kind of made the game look like a copy and paste, and I definitely wouldn't have named it Mega Endless Reality. I would have been dumb and probably named it like Async Endless Reality, which that is such a bad name. But on a serious note, if I did have all the knowledge I know now and I remade the game, I don't think it'd be much different. I think I definitely would have had a higher standard for entities like I do now, and for objectives like I do now. Would you consider buffing Employee of the Month to 20 tasks? Now that you said it, I am going to do that. Thank you. Top 5 favorite anime? Having watched 5 anime in my life, I've only watched 2, and that's JJK and One Punch Man. So number 1 is JJK, and number 2 is One Punch Man. There's not really a competition. Where'd you get the idea of making level 47/synthetic fairways? Synthetic fairways or level 47 isn't my level. It's from the Backrooms Infinite. It's from a collab to promote their final update. So it's from the Backrooms Infinite. It's a reference to the first like real deal Backrooms game I ever worked on. So yeah, and the naming is just kind of level 47 is a bad level on the wiki., so replace that, and synthetic fairways just fits the name. Would you ever be willing to put yourself in the game as an Easter egg for the funnies? Probably not. I'm really like, I don't want to say I'm humble because that's the most hypocritical thing ever, but I'm not the type of guy to go around saying, I made Meg. So I wouldn't put myself in the game just because I feel like that's a little prideful and kind of self-filling, if you get what I'm saying. If you had to guess, how many endings would you add before you stop making more? The final update for Meg, whenever that happens, will include an ending, but of course that's far out in the foreseeable future. So as the game goes on, there definitely will be more endings. It definitely won't just be 4. Is there going to be a big winter update in the future? Maybe. I don't know. There's always a Christmas event, so maybe I'll make it massive. Is there going to be an update similar to the size of the Fun War update? Not currently planned, I'm gonna be honest. Not really planned. Will there ever be a true ending? This kind of feeds into the lore of Meg, of You're Just Joe Schmo. There will never be a true ending. The true ending is what you decide. If you end up entering you cheated and dying there, then that's your true ending. If you end up getting to the front rooms to level 12, then that's your ending. If you suck at your job and you get the office ending, then that's your ending. It really all just depends on how you see your character ending, how you see your story ending. Will there ever be a Meg Endless Reality 2? Or will you keep updating the current game? There will never be a Meg Endless Reality 2. That'd be the dumbest thing ever. I'm sorry, but that really would. Why did you make Uncle Samsonite a rare encounter? Because Uncle Samsonite spawning just normally would be so chopped, and also he's kind of an Easter egg. Also, by the way, just so you people know, Uncle Samsonite is canon to the lore. Figure it out. Could you make the plush dino an item you could store in your inventory? If you read the index for the plush dino, it says that if he's taken to Meg, it's for interrogation and so they can study him. So obviously you wouldn't hold on to him, and that's why they're getting you to go get him. So he obviously gets returned by some other compass point team, so keeping him would be kind of weird. Is Rare Encounters 2 a reference to Shrek in the Backrooms? Not just Shrek in the Backrooms, but also that original kind of joke found footage that was made of Shrek in the Backrooms. It's a reference to both those. Will there ever be something else done with the front rooms? If you mean the part we see after level 12, then no, but a different part of the front rooms, then maybe. If the Meg was real, what division or regiment would you join and why? The mailroom. Being on Compass Point would be the most horrific thing ever. like realistically, the crap the players do, oh god. Is something going to be done with the large metal door in the meg base? The meg base is way bigger than just that room. It keeps going. So eventually you will go past those doors. What level will you refuse to make / can't make either due to difficulty or copyright? There's a lot of levels I refuse to make. I can't really name any off the top of my head, but if somebody mentioned it to me, I would definitely say no, why would I ever do that? It's kind of like a lot of slop levels and really dumb levels that I would never add. Like Wiki.Level level 29, it's a mountain. Never making that. Are you going to add more hallway filler in the future? Examples, level 5.2 or level 189. Eventually, there will be more hallway filler. I've kind of been straying away from it, but yes. And with that, that is every single question that wasn't stupid. So, if you like this Q&A and you learn more about the game, then subscribe. Maybe I'll make another Q&A. And also like the video so YouTube knows Meg fans want to watch this garbage. This audio recording is 47 minutes long, and it's about to get so much longer because I have to edit it. But anyways, with that, see you later, you stupid nerd.
Talk.